Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be incredibly useful and important for everyone, but it's especially crucial for those who are on the verge of becoming fluent in English, yet feel like they're not quite there. If you're wondering what the missing puzzle piece is, you're in the right place. Working on this one aspect will, without exaggeration, contribute to 80% of your fluency in English. And this thing is pronunciation. I want to congratulate those of you who didn't click out of this video because I'm going to be talking about the most effective approach to becoming fluent in English. It's the secret ingredient that traditional schools often overlook. And it doesn't matter what accent you'd like to master, and it doesn't even matter whether you're a beginner or advanced. The method is the same. In fact, if you're a beginner, it's even better. A natural question that might arise is, how in the world can working on my pronunciation help me become fluent in English if my grammar and vocabulary have seen better days? So let me explain. And I'll not only use myself as an example, but also my mom. First off, I want to share with you some self-help tips on polishing your pronunciation. And if you're curious to dive deeper and learn more about them in more detail, there's a video right here where I break it all down even more. Number 1, listening and imitating. You know how we all love binge watching shows? We'll use that to your advantage. Listen to native speakers in movies or podcasts, pause and repeat, and really tune into their rhythm, intonation, and stress. Moving on to the next tip, use pronunciation apps. There's a whole bunch of apps out there specifically for pronunciation. They're like personal tutors giving you instant feedback and helpful tips to improve. And speaking of guidance, use online videos and tutorials. And YouTube is your best friend here. It is packed with pronunciation tutorials for all kinds of languages. It's like popping into a language workshop anytime you feel like it. And it's free. Now for a bit of self-analysis. Record and analyze. Try recording yourself. It might feel weird, but it's super effective. Listen to your recording, compare it with native speakers, and notice where you can improve. Next up, a little technical skill. Phonetic exercises. Ever heard of the phonetic alphabet? It's a game changer. Learning it helps you understand exactly how to produce those challenging sounds. On a lighter note, practice with tongue twisters. Tongue twisters are not only for laughs, they really help with tough sounds. It's like a fun challenge that boosts your pronunciation skills. And for everyday practice, read aloud. Grab a book or a newspaper and read out loud. This helps you to get comfortable with the flow of the language and improves your pronunciation. It's almost like rehearsing for a play. Now let's add some rhythm. Sing along to songs. This one is one of my favorites. Singing songs in your target language improves your rhythm and intonation. Plus, it's a lot of fun. To get a bit more visual, you can use a mirror. Watch yourself speak in front of a mirror. It helps you see if you're making the correct mouth movements. Next tip is slowing things down a bit. Start by speaking slowly. This helps you nail the pronunciation before speeding up to a natural pace. And here's a cool technique you can use. Engage in shadowing exercises. Listen to a native speaker and repeat what they say simultaneously. It's like shadowing them to match their pronunciation. Focus on problematic sounds. Identify sounds that are tricky for you and drill down on them to give special attention to your pronunciation weak spots. And lastly, for some human interaction, join some online forums and language exchange websites. While practicing alone is awesome, sometimes a little feedback from others can make a big difference. Now is the perfect time to chase those self-development goals, and why not make language learning one of them? With the start of a brand new year, how about kicking it off with a bang and transforming your language skills with Lingoda, the sponsor of this portion of the video. Lingoda isn't just any language school. It's like being part of a global club where people turn their language dreams into reality. Whether you dream of conquering English, business English, French, German, or Spanish, Lingoda has got your back. All from the comfort of your own home. Now let me tell you about the flexibility the school offers. You can pick a plan that suits you best from 5 to 40 lessons a month. And the best part, You can change or cancel your plan anytime. They even offer a 7-day free trial with up to 3 group classes and a one-on-one session to get you started. Personally, I think that this free trial period is absolutely worth trying, and it gives you just about enough time to decide whether you like it or not. If you're a social butterfly, you can join their small group classes. But if you're more of a one-on-one learner, they have personal lessons too. And here's the kicker, you can learn anytime, anywhere. Their lessons are available 24/7. The curriculum is top-notch, covering everything you need, and you can track your progress too. So why not give it a try? And because you're amazing, I've got a special treat for you. Use my unique discount code, which you can see on the screen right now, and which you will also find in the description box down below and in the pinned comment, to get up to 30% off. Let's make this year the one where we conquer new languages together. Grab my discount code and start your language learning journey with Lingoda today. You'll find all the links and my code in the description and in the pinned comment. Now let's delve into how sharpening your pronunciation can seriously boost your English fluency. It is way more connected than you might think. First off, let's talk about enhanced listening skills. Focusing on pronunciation, it's like a 2-for-1 deal. Not only do you improve how you sound, but your listening skills get sharper too. It's like tuning your ears to the nuances of English, especially the grammar in real conversations. It's all about catching those little details. Moving on to another cool benefit, increased confidence. It's amazing how improving your pronunciation can make you more confident. This boost in confidence encourages you to dive into more conversations. And guess what? More talking equals better grammar practice. And speaking of communication, clear pronunciation is key to effective communication. As you get better at it, people focus more on what you're saying and not how you're saying it. It's like making every word count. Next up, something really interesting. Understanding nuances. Good pronunciation isn't just about getting the sounds right. It's also about the melody of the language, the intonation and stress. Mastering this helps you pick up on the subtle differences in English, which is super handy for understanding those tricky grammar points. Working on pronunciation involves listening to native speakers, which exposes you to the language in its natural context. This immersion helps you pick up new words and phrases more easily. Improving pronunciation often goes hand in hand with learning about the culture associated with the language. Cultural engagement can introduce new concepts, ideas, and words that can enrich your vocabulary. And repetition is key to all of this. It is better to work on mastering one sentence for a week, thoroughly drilling it, than practice everything all at once and hardly grasp anything. These repetitive drills will work wonders. I myself was very surprised by the results I achieved just by repeating sentences and paragraphs. My goal was to master the American accent, but I also significantly improved my grammar and vocabulary. And what's the secret to this approach? Well, there's no secret. It's natural. This is how children learn languages. No child starts learning a language by diving into grammar rules and structures. Instead, they first listen to those around them, then begin imitating them, often without fully understanding what they're saying or knowing the meaning of every word. As they progress, they naturally pick up vocabulary, and only then do they move on to reading, writing, and grammar. Why do I keep yapping about this? Simply because it works. It was the method I used, and it's also the method my mom is now using. At 61 years old, she has achieved pretty good results, as opposed to when she was just reading some grammar rules and writing down some random words. After moving to the US, she realized that she needed to learn English, and naturally, just like many of us, she was skeptical that my method would work for her. She had always believed that the traditional school education system was the right and the effective way to learn. And as we all know, I have my own thoughts about those methods. I didn't stand in her way or try to convince her otherwise. I simply let her do what she thought was right and stepped aside, just waiting to see what would happen. And what do you know? A few months later, she came up to me extremely frustrated, saying that she just couldn't learn English. Nothing was sticking with her. She forgot everything she learned. She concluded that maybe she was just too old for this. That's when I suggested she try my approach, emphasizing that she had literally nothing to lose. And guess what happened? Her English started to improve from a standstill. She began gaining confidence and started speaking English more, both with me and others around her. I am not here to convince you. I'm just sharing what I know, and it's up to you to decide what to do with this information. It is possible like you wouldn't believe. The only thing, though, is that you need to really want this, be serious about it, and put in the time and work. I feel like I've said this 1,000 times, but I'll remind you once again. Give it time. Don't rush the process and don't give up if you don't see the progress right away. You need to keep practicing. Some people see improvements quickly, while for others, it comes much later, almost like all of a sudden. However, it's important to note that while pronunciation practice can support grammar learning, it cannot completely replace it. There will come a time when you'll need to dive deeper into grammar, but at that point, it'll be so much easier to grasp. Grammar will make much more sense and feel more natural to you. Okay guys, that'll be it for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!